Well, welcome to the overnight. Now it's 9 in a row the Giants have now lost. And once again, another winnable game. Find a way to lose. You know, there was some good and there was some bad. I mean, Tyrone Tracy had a good game. I mean, Jackson Dart was alright. But he had his moments, and then he made some awful throws. He helped me out some. And you have to take the good with the bad. You know, everyone expecting Jackson Dart to be fucking steps on the field supposed to be fucking his mouth. Great. Like Josh Allen, it never happens. Every now and then they're going to have a fucking bad game or a bad time during the game. You know, it goes with the territory. I mean, that interception, I don't know what he was fucking looking at. And you know, the fucking, once again, fucking drops doomed this team. Darius Slayton. Joe Shane doubled your fucking salary. Can you catch the fucking ball? Isn't that too hard to ask? You dropped a would-be touchdown, and then you had another drop pass. That was pretty easy. You know, Theo Johnson had a good game when he was actually implemented. So did Daniel Bellinger. He had 3 straight catches, and and the play calling I was not a fan of today. You know, you have the 29th ranked run defense in Washington, and what do? You come out fucking throwing. Next thing you know, you're fucking down fucking early. Because your defense can't stop the fucking run. I just don't understand it. You know, the defense had Abdul Carter actually came to play today. You know, actually when you actually come to the fucking meetings and participate, that's what fucking happens. And you're fucking 14 fucking weeks late. He actually had a sack. He had 2 forced fumbles. He had a couple tackles for loss. You know, something that we were supposed to be expecting on a daily, not daily basis, but, something to that extent. You know, I just don't understand, and plus the back end of the defense, you're fucking god-awful. You give up that 51-yard pass to fucking touchdown to McLaurin, and could you fucking actually try to attempt a tackle? And say it's all right, just go in the end zone. And the special teams. Another fucking punt return touchdown given up. And once again, and then on top of that, our fucking kicker can't fucking make field goals. Missed 2 50-yarders today. I mean, it's ridiculous. And they still hold the number 1 slot for the draft. And if they were smart, they would fucking tank. Just fucking lose out. I don't think you're going to beat fucking Minnesota. If the way Minnesota looked tonight, I think this is going to be the fucking get-right game for Justin Jefferson. In my opinion. I think Justin Jefferson's going to fucking have a field day. And I think their run game's gonna, you know, like Aaron Jones is gonna have a great game, I think. But the real game is 2 weeks from now against Vegas, because that's gonna have draft implications. Because the loser in that game most likely is going to get the number 1 pick. Most likely. So, if you're the Giants, why wouldn't you go why don't you finish out 0-3 the last 3 games? You hold the number 1 pick in the draft, and then you control. You have you can trade down for a boatload of picks and help out your team and help and improve this team, which desperately needed. You know, teams need quarterbacks. You know, one team that's going to need a quarterback? That's the Jets. And the Jets got the draft capital to pull off a trade with the Giants. Think about it. The Giants will have the number 1 pick. The Jets have 2 firsts and 3 firsts the following year. The Jets, I don't think, wouldn't mind giving up a couple of firsts, or this, you know, one of their firsts for next year, and then maybe 2 the following year, or first or third, and then a first round in 28 for that first pick, and they can get their quarterback. And then the Giants would have 2 first round picks next year, and wouldn't that be that would be fucking great? And that can help their team. They can go and get your wide receiver 2. I mean, you could fucking add Jerry Slayton in the fucking deal. I could fucking care less. You know, you can get a Cardinal Tate or something like that, and then you can go get, you know, you can improve. You can get an elite linebacker and shit like that. You know, that's what this team needs. This team needs a lot, but they need a second wide receiver. You know, that room has to fucking improve. And you know what? Paying Darius Slayton $12 million and he's not even a number 2 wide receiver right now. You know, when Malik Neighbors comes back, and then you get one in the draft, or you go and get out in free agency. And it doesn't have to be, you know, someone that's dependable, that can actually catch the fucking ball. You know, like an Alex Pierce type. He would be ideal, in my opinion, if the Colts don't bring him back. And then Joe Shane can fix this team, and with the right coaching staff, we turn it around fast. But I think it's imperative, if this team wants to better their fucking future, they lose out. The last 3 games are winnable, no doubt. But you know how this team is. They find ways. They find ways to lose. Because you know what's going to happen. They'll be competitive against Minnesota, find a way to lose. Everyone say, oh, Vegas is a fucking super winnable game. But we said that against New Orleans. And look what happened. So there's no guarantees. And then Dallas is Dallas. You know, it'll probably be a fucking high-scoring affair. But we need this. And a good draft that Joe Shane can fucking get organized, you know. But he's got to make sure that If you're the number one, if you have the number one pick, you control this. Because you can fix this team by getting a boatload of picks. And think about it. We'll have enough cap space because you're going to have a young team that's on rookie deals for the next 3-4 years. And with the right coaching staff, this could turn into a winner. But it all depends on now. Like I said, I don't think they're beating Minnesota the way they look tonight. I don't think the game against Vegas is going to be huge. And you know they'll never beat Dallas in the final game of the year. So I just want this team to get better. I want this, I fucking hate losing. You know what? I don't fucking mind if we lose the last 3. I don't mind it. Be competitive. Because, yes, you're evaluating for your jobs for next year. But be competitive. You'll find ways to lose because Joe Schoen is staying. And everyone who fucking wants Joe Schoen fired now. Does Joe Schoen motivate the players? I mean, seriously. Does he motivate the players before a game? That's on the coaching staff. That's on the players. That's not on Joe Schoen. Oh, they're playing bad. It's Joe Schoen's fault. No, it's not Joe Schoen's fault. It's the players who've checked out. Because the players can't execute. So, that's about half of the Giants. Everyone, the head coaching, search, Marcus Freeman, the Rams defensive coordinator, the Packers defensive coordinator. Get someone who's going to command the room and not going to let shit slide. I mean, Mike Kafka is done. Sorry. The play calling today was just abysmal. First and goal on the 1 and you can't score. Did you ever think about trying to draw up a play for Theo Johnson? He leads the team in touchdowns. In touchdown catches. You think that would be, you think that would be, but, Mike Kafka would rather throw it to fucking Wandale Robinson. But that's about it for tonight. Oh, actually, I don't want to talk about the Nets before I end this. The Nets looked really fucking good tonight against the Bucks. And yeah, it's without Giannis and shit like that. But if Giannis watched that game and he purchased a complex 5 minutes from the Nets training center, and Dioman had a good bounce back game, that was a very good team win. You had 7 or 8 guys in double figures. The only one that didn't score was Traore. But this team is exciting to watch with all these rookies. And the future is so bright for this team. They'll get more game experience. But, reading on social media that, Let's keep fucking tank. Let's just keep trying to tank and trade Michael Porter. And why would you want to trade Michael Porter? You just got him in a trade over the summer. You need a veteran presence on this team. You need someone who's won a championship been in our championship team. It's a mentor to younger players. And then you want to fucking trade your best scorer? I mean, I can get it. I get it. You want to trade Cam Thomas. As much as I love Cam Thomas, he's an elite scorer. It's just he's too often and too injured. And as much as I want him on this team, I think getting something for him would be a little more beneficial. But it's like I said, I think Cam Thomas can help this team too with elite scoring. With him and Porter and Claxton and Clowney, if Cam Thomas comes back, you replace him. You send man to the fucking bench, and now you have a better start. You have a better starting five. I don't give a fuck about their defense. Nobody plays fucking defense in the fucking NBA at times. So, what's the fucking problem? You got players who pass the basketball on the team. You need that one elite scorer. If you have Cam Thomas and Porter, and you got all this young nucleus around, with Yeoman and Wolf has been really fucking good. And Seraph and Drake Powell. Now you can get that superstar that make you a playoff team. But they looked really good tonight. That was very impressive. Fucking 45-point demolishment of the fucking Bucks. That's going to be their best win of the year. And they did that without Jordi Fernandez, who was under the weather. They looked really good tonight. And this team's getting more exciting and I think as the year progresses. I think you wait till fucking February and March when these rookies really have got some really game experience underneath them. It's just going to get, I think this rebuild's going to build, and then we have the draft picks. But everybody wants, we need that fucking first pick of the fucking lottery. Forget that right now. Because you saw the last 2 years, the lottery winners were a fucking playing team. It's just luck of the draw. So, they're getting better. It's slowly getting there. But it's starting to get a little more impressive. But that's about it for tonight. Giants can't fucking win a game anymore. I don't think they're done winning for the year. I'd be shocked if they fucking beat Minnesota. But right, like I said, it's right in front of them. It's right in fucking front of them that the number one pick is right there. And you can trade down to get a boatload of picks. And all you have to do is fucking lose out. All you have to do. Not fucking hard. But the Vegas game is huge. The Vegas game is huge. That's the game that could decide the future of where this team's gonna, do you want to win or do you want to win next year? Because, like I said, teams need quarterbacks, and they'll be calling the Giants, like the Jets, like Cleveland. Shedeur Sanders ain't going to be their quarterback. Like I said 2 weeks ago on social media, wait till he feels a real fucking defense. But that's about it for tonight. It's actually fucking windy as fuck and we have flooding and shit like that. But we're fine. But all right, I'm gonna go inside and scroll on social media and see what all these other people have to fucking say about the Giants today. Fucking winnable games. They can't. It's just ridiculous. It's just whatever.